Welcome to CFC Fan TV. I'm joined by Charlie The Hurricane Skillen for this transfer special. Charlie, take it away.
What glamorous intro that was. I'm sure you've heard that before. Look, it's been the biggest problem at Chelsea this year, the transfers for the past 12 months. We know Conte hasn't been happy. We know that's kind of almost been the downfall of our kind of crumbling title-winning empire that Conte built. And the signings we made last summer haven't worked, and I think the prospective signings are not the ones that are going to fill him with joy, and I think that's part of the reason he's going to be off.
We got it so wrong.
We did.
In the summer of last year. I mean, we really did, across the board. I mean, Alvaro Morata replacing Diego Costa absolutely didn't work.
No.
Bakayoko replacing Matic absolutely didn't work. You can make a case for Rudiger. You can make a case for Rudiger improving the back line. I think that's a fair thing.
I think it's been okay. Christensen as well, not a transfer obviously, but he's been.
I think that's a fair one to say. But those two definitely.
Well, those two were our most important signings, and look, as we sit here, I'd say they've both failed. Bakayoko miserably, and
Morata scored one goal this calendar year. So
exactly. So yeah, they have both failed. Looking ahead, the type of names that we're going to be in for, a lot depends. It's very hard to talk about the Chelsea summer transfers because we don't know who the manager's going to be, and we don't know if we're going to be in the Champions League. And those are two real big.
Let's go optimistic. Let's just assume that we make the Champions League.
Right. Well, the names that are being bandied about are homegrown players. So the one that was on the back of the Mail on Tuesday was Luke Shaw. Obviously,
Chelsea fan, isn't he?
He is a Chelsea fan.
Not that should bear any relevance.
No, I'm a Chelsea fan.
Exactly.
You don't want me playing. Obviously, his situation at Man United is no good. He needs to leave. Mourinho's kind of called him out again. And Chelsea are leading the chase for him.
Is it a chase? How many people are involved? How many people are running this race?
I don't know. I'm not quite sure. But no, look, homegrown players are very, very valuable in the Premier League. It's the reason we bought Ross Barkley. Arsenal and Liverpool are both looking at Shaw as well. And we know that, today, I'm not sure Shaw is a better option than Marcus Alonso. No.
And also, the question marks about his attitude in training and things like that.
Yeah. They're very valid concerns. I mean, it was... Obviously, there's been a lot of negative outpouring of grief for Luke Shaw, and that he's being treated so harshly, which he is being treated harshly. But I thought there were some really interesting comments. Do you remember Jason Dodd?
Yes.
The old Southampton player. Well, he's their youth coach now, and he sort of oversaw Shaw's development. It's good, this, isn't it? I can't say anything today. And he said Shaw makes you tear your hair out.
Really?
He's like he does lose focus in training. He isn't committed. I mean, look. Working with Conte is academic at this point, but you can't see. I mean, the culture of the club at the minute is all about hard work and that. The other name that's been mentioned in a similar vein is Aaron Ramsey. He's going to enter in the last year of his contract at Arsenal.
Right.
I know. Look,
that's so uninspiring for me.
Don't shoot the messenger.
That's so uninspiring for me.
It does absolutely nothing for me, Raw. I have rated him at certain points, but he's to me he's emblematic of the typical Arsenal player. Yes, very, very talented on his day.
Yeah, occasionally has a blinder, scores a worldie away in Turkey from 35 yards, but
is absolutely nowhere to be seen when they get turned over against West Brom.
Yeah.
What
happened to the days of us going out and really taking it to world football? They're
over. Is what they are.
Has anyone at the club heard of this Dybala? Is that a possibility?
I think they've heard of him. I certainly enjoy watching him not Tottenham out of the Champions League. We're not going to be in for that level of player, I don't think.
You don't think that they would have learned from their mistakes of last summer and they want to rectify it massively this year?
I think they'd like to, but every shred of evidence suggests that, and I don't understand why, is that, say Chelsea have 150 million to spend.
They'll do it across. They do it across 5. Yeah. We keep buying the 30-odd. The Danny Drinkwater's a 30-odd million pound player rather than the 70 million pound. Because you don't get anything for 30 million anymore.
No, it's immensely frustrating, and it's contributed to this what has been a fairly rapid decline in the quality of our squad.
I know, it's so frustrating.
You know, by far.
What about if people were to leave? So, you know, it's looking like Hazard could leave, it's looking like Courtois could leave.
This is by far the bigger issue here at the minute. I mean,
but will we reinvest that money? So if Courtois were to leave, that would be a huge amount of money coming into the club for a keeper.
For a keeper, I don't think it'd be as big as you think for a player. I mean, I slag him off to the high heavens, but you know, he is
one of the world's best keepers. Okay, then let's just live that nightmare for a moment and say Hazard. If Hazard were to leave and we were to see an investment coming in at what would he be worth? 150 million quid?
Yeah, I think you'd do well to get that. But
say you were to get 120 million, then would we then spend that money?
We'd have to buy a player for 90 or million. I mean, the ones that I can potentially see happening is there's be a few players on their way out of Real Madrid.
Right.
So whether we might get like an Isco or maybe even a Gareth Bale, and that's not on concrete info. That's just kind of me.
Yeah.
Thinking about, you know, that we'll be losing a world-class player, and there will be players leaving Real Madrid to make that happen.
I see.
Courtois is almost a bigger issue because it obviously means we need to buy a top-class keeper. The names being mentioned, and they're being mentioned with every big club that wants a keeper, are Jan Oblak at Atletico and Alisson, who is kind of the flavour of the month. He's the Roma keeper.
Right.
And he's going to be fighting it out with Eduardo from Man City to be Brazil's keeper at the World Cup.
I've got a question for you.
Go on.
Willy Caballero.
Yeah?
Is Willy Caballero a good enough keeper to be a number one keeper for Chelsea?
No.
Okay.
No.
Fine.
He's good enough to be a fantastic and very able deputy and to perform very well when needed to. Over the, you know, you've got to think he's old as well. Over the rigours of different competitions and a 38-game league season, you
probably not the number one.
You know, yeah, exactly.
Fair.
Exactly, but no, he's been a great asset, and he was very good against Leicester.
Yeah, very good. So we're now looking at homegrown. Is there anything slightly more inspiring that you want to talk to us about? Brilliant.
I mean, no. Leon Bailey is a player that really interests me.
Does he interest the club though?
He does. He interests the club massively. He's been a long-term target for the rest of this season. He was sensational around the turn of the year in the Bundesliga, and it's one of those kind of long-term club targets. And those are the only real targets we have at the minute because, as we know, there's no point Conte having any targets. And Chelsea's future in the transfer market, and by far the more important thing for Chelsea at the minute, is to try with all their might to sign up Hazard and Courtois. Right. For new contracts. But I do think Leon Bailey, if I'm looking down the lists of potential targets, I think Leon Bailey is the most exciting one.
And most realistic?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's wanted by the great and the good of world football. But
so we've got to be in the Champions League?
We've got to be in the Champions League, yeah. Okay. It helps that massively.
There, you've heard it here first from the one and only Hurricane.
Sorry, I can't bring better news, Rory.
I know, it's very disappointing. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please click the subscribe button and do us a favour, comment below. Let us know what you think about the potential arrival at Chelsea of the one and only Aaron Ramsey.